Hey there, action figure fans. This is Wesatron. Today we're going to be doing another how-to video, and I want to take a look at the boiling method for fixing joints. Now, some of you may have heard of this as the boil and pop method, which is slightly different but the same idea. Generally, the idea is if you heat up a joint enough, you'll be able to just pop it right off the peg for peg and socket joints. So in this case, I've bought a Walmart Spider-Man who has a bit of a bendy arm. You can see it goes straight down and then kind of wiggles out. And I would like it to sit a little bit more like that. But as you can see, when I let go, it's going to bounce right back into the place where it was. So to fix that, we're doing a very simple method. All we're doing is doing some boiling water and leaving them in there for a little bit, readjusting the angle of the joint there. Hasbro especially has been doing kind of soft joints lately, so this is something you may have to do from time to time. To do that, all you need is your action figure, a different size mug depending on how big the problem is, and some water, and a microwave. So basically, since this is a smaller figure and I don't need to do his entire body, I don't have to dunk him or anything, I'm going to use a smaller mug. The taller mug, like this here, would be more for if you needed to dunk a large part of the figure, or maybe like both legs at the same time if you had problems with your figure that way, large parts, that sort of thing. You want to use a bigger one. For this size guy, and since I'm only got problems with the arm, all I'm going to do is fill this one up. So, basically, we're just going to take our mug here, come over to our sink. And it doesn't matter really if you use hot or cold, because you're going to be putting it in the microwave anyway. But I'm going to fill this one up since it's just his arm. I'm going to get pretty close to the top of the mug. If you're going to be dipping a larger part of the action figure, you would want to lower your water base a little bit, just so that whenever you insert him into the water, it doesn't overflow on you, because you definitely don't want boiling water spilling all over your countertop or on your hands. That's the big thing. So for this, we're going to take our mug over here, and we're going to put this in here for about, forgive my disgusting microwave, we're going to put this in here for this size probably, let's just do 2.5 minutes. Basically, all you want to do is get this to a nice boil. Start that, and we will pick up when that is ready. And our timer's gone off, so let's go ahead and get this guy out of here. The good thing about doing this with mugs is that generally the ring here won't get that hot, so it's easy to get out. But if you are not using a standard coffee mug, make sure you grab this with some kind of either a mitten or a cloth, something that's going to protect you from getting burnt. Now, you can see, or you may not be able to see, God, that's disgusting. There's a little bit of water there where it's boiled over. That's normal, it's not a big deal. You know, you may want to wash that afterwards. I might want to wash it anyway just because it's really gross, but okay. So now we've got our action figure already over here, ready to go. You can see our water is good to go here. I'm going to try and keep the camera away from the water so that we don't fog up our lens here. Basically, what we're going to do is just take our action figure joint, bend his arm outward, and just dunk. And generally, I've been of the belief that if you just leave it there, it's not going to hurt anything. As long as you don't leave it for an extended period of time where it might do any kind of damage, you know, to the parts that are touching. But pretty much all you want to do is make sure that that joint, the part that you're trying to fix, is completely immersed. And we're going to leave him in there for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute. For a larger figure, for a larger joint, you want to, leave it in there a little bit longer, but generally it doesn't take a whole lot of time for this joint to become pliable, which is all you really need. You want it to become the consistency where you can move it very freely without any resistance. You don't want it to feel like that thicker plastic. You want it to bend as bendy as it can get, really, because essentially what we're going to do is bend it into the shape we want it. And then we're going to run it under cold water again to make sure that that shape fixes, and we can, adjust it if we need to. If it's not perfect when we get it out of the cold water, you can redunk it in the hot water and just work your way back. So, as I said, it usually doesn't take very long. Let's go ahead and pull them up and see how we're doing. Oh yeah, see that? See if you can see that. That is great. That's exactly what you want. And you do have to be careful with this. That's why I've got this, I don't know if you can see it, I'm sitting on a just a towel here which is covered in cats because I'm married, and when you're married everything you get becomes covered with cats. Especially with dunking figures, you know, if you dunk there's a chance that it could spill over, so you want to have, you know, your table protected, your hands protected, all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and take him. As you can see, it's already starting to set itself in the right position there. Just bring him right back over here to our faucet. And essentially, I'm just going to make sure that his joint is where I want it to be. Turn on my cold water. Hold it with my hand to make sure that the joint stays where I want it. I'm just going to let it run under there. And you'll be able to feel it as it starts to get harder. You won't feel that freedom in the joint anymore. So that's good. Now, other people also have used this to fix stress joints. If you notice that you've got any like stress fractures, you know, like a lighter mark in the plastic that indicates that maybe it's working too hard on the joint and not enough on the peg holes. I have heard, I haven't done it, but have heard that you can, with a hairdryer or with hot water like this, you can fix that so those go away. So like your Retgar has trouble holding his axe, then that can help him get that fixed. So as you can see, yeah, now his arm goes down straight, the way I wanted it to. So all I really need to do now is take him back over to my table and dry him off, make sure he's good to go. The water is really not going to hurt getting inside this figure. If you have figures with metal parts, I don't know if that'd be the same, if you'd really want to run them under water like that, but essentially we got them dried off here, and our Spider-Man is ready to go. That's pretty much all it takes. Just do be careful after you do this that you don't try and work the joint too soon, because it may still be a little stretchy and you don't want to stretch anything out or get your peg holes loose or anything like that. So give him a chance to kind of chill, relax a little bit before you really get to handling him. But that's pretty much it, guys. There's not a whole lot to this. It's just basically heat, realign, and cool. That's it. And hopefully you are able to fix your figures that way. One other thing, just be careful, like in the case where he's got very thin plastic fingers here, and also he's got like a swivel hinge joint in his wrist as well. You want to be careful when you're doing this that when you go to put them back under the cool water, that you don't have those misshapen in any way, because they will also hold the shape. In the same way that this plastic bent back the way you wanted it, these can bend out the way you want it if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. So in this case, it looks like there's no problems. His joint still works and everything, you know, and the fingers are still good and tight, so we're good to go. But that's it. This is just a quick look at how to do a boil and pop or boil fix, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of applications for this. You can do a whole lot of things with it, down to even this where you notice his knee is facing forward and his foot kind of facing inward. That looks like the way it's designed. You could actually fix that with the boil and pop as well. If I want this knee to be forward and the foot to be facing forward also, all you have to do is dunk from about here down, twist that to the position you want, and it would straighten right up under that water as well. And you may have to train it once or twice, but generally I've been of the luck to, once I've put it under the boiling water, it generally holds its position. I used to use a hairdryer and it didn't as well. But the boiling, every time I've used it, has been great, and I'm really glad, because getting a hairdryer out and dealing with all that can be a little more problematic. With water, at least you can just dump the water back out, put it back in the cabinet, you're good to go. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions about this method or anything you'd like to add or something that you've done that's been more effective, let me know. Just hit me up in the comments below. I really appreciate it, guys, and you have a great day.